What if the person ruining your life was your own roommate? And you got a second chance to stop her? My roommate never stops asking questions. She has to expose everything, no matter the cost. From waking me in the middle of the night just to prove a point, to storming into class to question attendance records, to accusing me of stealing her ideas in front of an entire audience. One by one, she destroys my grades, my reputation, and my future. Failed. Expelled. Labeled a plagiarist. With nothing left, I climb to the rooftop, ready to end it all. But when I open my eyes again, I'm back at the very beginning. Back to the night she first asked.
Melissa, are you awake? Sienna Riggs's annoying voice pierced through the middle of the night. I couldn't tell if I was dreaming or actually awake. I fumbled around my pillow until I found my phone. When I turned it on and saw the date on the screen, I became certain I had been reborn. Outside my bed curtain, Sienna wasn't giving up when I didn't answer her. Instead, she kept calling my name. However, I simply turned off my phone, put in my earbuds, and closed my eyes. When Sienna still didn't get a response, she pulled my curtain open. It was already past 1 a.m., but another roommate was still up playing video games. The glow of her monitor flashed against my eyelids as the keyboard clacked in the background. Melissa, Melissa, are you asleep? Sienna's voice grew louder. At that point, it was loud enough to wake anyone up. Still, I kept my eyes tightly shut, determined not to move. I knew Sienna's game. I knew I couldn't give in because if I opened my eyes, she would get exactly what she wanted. In my previous life, she loved pulling these little compliance tests. If I so much as opened my eyes and asked what she wanted, she would just grin and say, "Oh, nothing. I just wanted to see if you were sleeping." It had driven me crazy and kept me up all night, while she couldn't have been happier. Not to mention, that wasn't the only bizarre thing she did. When we first moved into the dorm, she introduced herself by saying she was from a small rural town and wasn't used to city life, so she might need our help a lot. She acted like a clueless newborn who knew absolutely nothing. Once classes started, the professors posted all the instructions in the group chat so anyone who read the announcements knew what to do, yet Sienna still came to us with the same questions every single time. "Melissa, how do I submit this assignment? I have no idea what to do." I told her to check the group chat since all the instructions were there, but she wouldn't even look and just kept asking, "What format do we need, Word or PDF?" "Either is fine. Just go check the group chat first," I'd said. It was like Sienna had a built-in filter that blocked out everything I said, and she just kept doing her own thing. "Melissa, it still won't go through. Can you help me?" Again, I reminded her to check the announcements. When she finally listened, it was only to ask, "Where are the announcements? How do I find them?" I have no idea. I'd nearly lost my mind from frustration, so I started keeping my guard up around her after that, but people like Sienna always found a way to catch me off guard, no matter how prepared I was. One morning before class, one of my roommates couldn't get out of bed and asked me to sign her in. It seemed harmless enough, but when I got there, I realized I was the only one from our dorm who'd shown up. The other three hadn't arrived. Since it was an easy class and the professor wasn't taking roll, I figured it wouldn't hurt to help them out, so I marked all four of us present on the app. I was feeling pleased with myself for doing a good deed when Sienna suddenly burst through the main door. She marched straight up to the professor, held up her phone, and asked, "Professor, why does my phone show I was signed in when I wasn't even here?" Everyone in the classroom turned to stare at her, and I was so shocked that I broke out in a cold sweat. The professor shot her a cold look and said, "You know exactly how your name got checked in." Sienna replied, "I honestly have no idea. That's why I came to ask you. The system must have glitched. I never tapped anything, and it signed me in on its own." She put on her best innocent act and annoyed the professor so much that he actually let out a laugh. However, it didn't take him long to realize I was the one behind it. Because I'd signed in for 3 of my roommates, I ended up failing the course and had